Hi guys, in this tutorial I'll be sharing with you how to make this 1/12 scale rustic style market cart in my easy to assemble kits. Simply follow my step-by-step instructions to create your own realistic miniatures to paint and finish in your own style. I've designed a range of miniature kits, so this one and others are available to purchase through my website steveputnam.com. So let's get started and see what tools and supplies you need to put this kit together in the comfort of your own home. So you'll need wood glue. I use Gorilla Glue as preference, but you can use any brand of your choice. You'll need a scalpel or Stanley or craft knife, toothpicks or cocktail sticks, sandpaper in a fine grade. I tend to use something around 100 or 150 grit for most of the sanding, and then I go in with a much finer grade sandpaper at about 180 for the finishing. You'll need a range of paintbrushes in various sizes. Some of the older brushes where the bristles have splayed are really useful for when you're dry brushing and creating a wood grain. You'll need a range of acrylics in varying shades of brown, and also burnt sienna and yellow ochre are really useful colours, and we will come on to that later as to why. I'd also recommend a range of paler brown and taupe colours in acrylics. And finally, this weathering powder from Humbrol, which is brilliant for rust effects. Alternatively, you can use ground cinnamon. Just be aware that if you're not a big fan of cinnamon, it will permanently smell like Christmas. So you want to start with your sheets of cut pieces, and you'll notice there are small tabs holding these cut pieces in place. Using either a craft knife or a scalpel, carefully cut through these tabs to release the pieces from the sheet. Once you've cut all of the tabs, you can then easily push all of the parts out of the sheet and discard the outer frame and set your pieces aside ready to start assembling. So we're going to start by taking the two side sections of our cart, and we want to start sanding down various sections on this. So the handle is one of the main areas to sand down. We want to start rounding these edges off and tapering this end round section. Also the wheel axle we can work around here, and I just start with 100 or 150 grit sandpaper and then go in with that much finer 180 grit to give me a smoother finish. So once you finish sanding, it should look something like this, and you can repeat this on this finial section on the end, and also along the top edge of your cart you can round these two edges off as well. So once you've completed one side, then just repeat the process again on the second side of the carts. I also like to round off these leg sections and taper these down to a much more rounded finish. So once those sides are completed, you then want to have a look at the other sections that you've cut out, and anywhere where there were tabs holding it in place, just use your fine grit sandpaper and remove these. I find with these sections it helps to keep the sandpaper flat and sand them like this. So once you've finished sanding all of your parts, you can lay all the pieces out, make sure you've got everything ready to assemble, and now we can start constructing the cart. Taking your two side sections of the cart and the two cross braces, add a small dab of glue to each of the ends of these and locate these into the two holes in the lower section of the side. So once you've positioned that cross brace on the leg, we're then going to repeat the process with the second cross brace and add a dab of glue and add that one to the wheel axle section like so. Next, we're going to take this base section of our cart and add glue to these three small tabs, and just make sure these align with the three slots in the side of the cart. So at this point, it's good for me to mention that the small sections with the cutouts just on the left here need to go at the far end of the cart where the finials are, not at the handle end. It's very important that this is glued in the right position. Then we're just going to repeat the same process on the other side of the cart and fix that side to the base. So working flat on this section really helps. It means that you can line everything up and apply a small amount of pressure to make sure everything is fixed into place. So again, once you're happy with the position and everything lines up, just go around with your cocktail stick or toothpick and remove any excess glue. Now you have the basic framework of your cart constructed. This can be set aside and allowed to dry, and then we'll move on to the next section. So this slatted base is the next part that we're going to glue in position. So we're just going to add some glue along these 3 supports on that previous base section that we just fixed. As you can see, I also run a small line of glue down the side sections of this first frame that we fixed in position. So once you're happy you've applied enough glue onto that base section, you can add this slatted base on top of that. Just apply a small amount of pressure to make sure it's fixed in place. And at this stage, you do want to make sure that the 2 ends are completely flush. So along here, just make sure that's flush. It's very important for the next stage that comes up when we're fixing some of the shaped pieces to the other end of the cart. So again, at this stage, it's good just to tidy up any excess glue with your cocktail stick or toothpick. Okay, so now we're going to work on part of the wheel section. I take one of the wheels and the dowel that's provided and just dab this in a small amount of glue and twist this to fit into the hole in one of the wheels. So just wipe off any excess from the other side of the wheel and then set this down to dry. So you'll notice in the kit there are 4 small wooden discs with holes through. I've supplied these in 2 and 3mm. It's up to you which size or thickness you decide to use. I've used the 2mm and I apply a small amount of glue to the bottom of the dowel and the wheel and then thread on the desired choice of thickness down to the dowel and just glue this in position. These discs basically act as a spacer, so when the wheel is in motion or you want to move the cart, it means that the wheel doesn't catch on the side of the cart. So just fix that in place, push it down and remove any excess glue, and then you can set this aside to dry. So whilst we allow those bits to dry, we can then go back to the main body of our cart and fix this end section to the cart. As you can see, the slots align, so we're simply going to add a couple of small dabs of glue to these side sections and then push this piece in place. So we'll set this piece aside, allow that to dry, and we'll go back to our wheel section, which should now be dry, and taking this small 2mm end cap, we just add a small dab of glue and affix this end cap in place in the centre of the wheel. So we'll set this wheel section aside to dry and then go back to the main body of the cart. I turn the cart onto its top so the base is facing up, as this is easier to position the 6 shaped pieces on the end. I just add a small dab of glue to each of the cutout slots and then position your shaped pieces in each of the slots as shown here. So that's the main body of the cart fully constructed, and now it's time to just finish off the final section of the wheels. Taking the wheel and dowel section that we glued together earlier, we're just going to feed this through the 2 holes in the axle section like so, and make sure this is fed all the way through to that spacer disc that we applied earlier. So then taking the second disc, whether you choose the 2 or 3mm thickness, that's entirely up to you. Feed whichever you choose on with the additional wheel, push them flush and then just mark the end like so. You then want to feed this back through and use a Stanley or craft knife. I use a board like this and just kind of do a rotating motion with your dowel until you cut through. You can sand the end flush and feed this back through. Just make sure everything fits and feed that final disc and wheel on and just make sure everything is flush. I'll then remove this one last time as it's much easier to paint all of the parts separately. So that is your cart finished and ready to paint. I have gone for a traditional wooden cart. So I start by mixing a range of brown acrylics into a mid-brown and apply this all over. I tend to find that I don't need to prime any of these sections first, as this is absolutely perfect for a wood finish. So you'll notice I haven't painted these two curved sections, either side of the leg or the curved pieces at the end of the cart. I'm going to be painting those with my burnt sienna and rust finish later on. So I apply the same brown colour to the wheels and all of the spokes. As you can see, it's quite a time-consuming process. I don't paint the dowel through the centre because I want to be able to feed that through, and the same with the small discs. It's better to try and paint these bits separately, as too much paint will mean that the wheel axle won't move freely once we've threaded that through at the end. So once all of these parts are dry, I then mix a much paler brown and kind of taupe colour, and I start to dry brush this onto the cart to create a wood grain effect. So I repeat this process over the entire cart and just rub off any excess with my finger. Also make sure that you do underneath and the inside and outside of all of the spokes of the wheels too. So if you've not tried this paint technique before, I would recommend just going for it. It's really not something that you can get wrong. It's more about building up layers of colour. And if you're really not happy, a piece of damp kitchen paper is easy enough to remove this top layer of paint, and you can always let this dry and then start again. So now taking our burnt sienna acrylic paint, I'm going to start painting these two curved sections, which we want to look like rusted iron, and I tend to apply 2 coats of colour to all of these parts and also the curved sections at the end of the cart too. So whilst this burnt sienna colour is still wet, we want to go in with our yellow ochre, and I just use a very small brush and randomly apply small amounts to this rusted section. Rust isn't one colour, it has different levels of corrosion, so we're just trying to create a very convincing look. You can almost dab the excess off with your finger and just repeat this process over all of these sections that you want to look like rust. So while those painted sections are still wet, we're just going to go in with our Humbrol weathering powder and apply that with a different brush. This is really handy to create a very convincing rust patina. So as you can see, we just add a small amount and dab this onto the wet acrylic. So at this stage, you should have your cart looking something like this. You should have created a realistic wood grain finish and a rusted metal finish using those painting techniques. I then mix another colour from this pale sand and yellow ochre colour and mix the two together to form a dry brushing mix, which I take the excess off on a piece of cardboard, and I'm just going to dry brush this over any of the kind of high points of the cart, so the corners and varying sections, as you can see around the handle. I just want this to look like old wood that's been left outside and weathered down. So once that's been allowed to dry, you can then take your wheel and dowel section and feed that back through the wheel axle. I just like to give this one last test and make sure that everything fits and spins correctly. If you do find that the dowel is slightly snagging and there's too much paint on there, you can just give this a light sand and make sure that you just touch up the colour once you've glued everything back in place. So a tiny dab of glue on that last wheel and just glue this in position, allow that to dry. Once that's had time to set, we can then just affix that last centre cap onto the centre of the wheel. I just give this a coat of the original brown paint, and then once that's dry, we'll go back in and do the wood grain effect later. So that central dowel, if we had to sand that or we didn't paint it originally because we wanted to thread it through, then we just give that one last coat of paint now. Just make sure that there's nothing wet and that the wheels don't stick as this paint dries. And finally, we'll just go in with our dry brushing technique and finish off that centre cap. So once that's dry, the very last paint technique that we're going to apply to this cart is this mix of yellow ochre and green, and I mix the two together to make a kind of sludgy greeny yellow colour. What we're going to do is again just dry brush this over certain areas of the cart. I take off the excess on a piece of kitchen towel, and we're just going to add this to various sections where maybe water might sit, and just give this wood a slightly more aged look. Again, just remember this probably would have sat outside for years, so we're just creating that illusion of age by building up layers of colour. And that's it, your cart is finished and ready to display however you choose. I've used mine as a vegetable market cart, and you can see how I made these polymer clay vegetables in my previous tutorials. Well, that's it folks, I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Please do check out my other 1/12 scale kits, and if this has inspired you to get creative, then please do hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Steve Putnam Design, for future updates.